Hello everyone, and welcome back to 4KB Shorts Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Space Adventures. Well, we came back from Minmus because our little experiment, my little experiment, I won't blame you guys, my little experiment regarding the extraplanetary launch pad system did not function as well as I had hoped. It was very unstable, it was laggy, it was hard to do, and you know what, it was a bigger deviation than I originally thought it would be from our initial mission. So because of that, we're going back to our initial mission, and of course our initial mission always takes the same thing. So let's go ahead and take a look really quick, and I'm pretty sure I already have one here on board. If not, we'll build another one. It's a very simple ship to build, of course. So you have let's see, I believe it's the Humble Bumble 3. I'm just gonna have to give it a second. There you go. Alright, so we have the Humble Bumble 3. I'm not 100% sure this vehicle... See, now I told you guys I did put a seat on there, but I think it blew off, like it exploded and fell off when we first left. But we're gonna leave the seat off this time. So let's see, we have well, we have a GPS, we have a mechanical brain there. It's not a mech jet brain, of course, just a mechanical brain. We are going to need one additional component because we're going to switch this up a little bit, and that would be right here. We need a protractor somewhere on here. Let's grab the better protractor and just kind of slap it on someplace safe where it won't be in the way or blow anything up, I think is a good place to put it. Not sure if that's that place or not. Where could we, I mean, we could put it right here on the, well, we could put it on the buggy, I suppose. But then again, it does have the ability to explode off like it did last time, doesn't it? But yeah, we are going to take a buggy, or a, hello. We're going to take a rover. You know what, it could really go, well, it is interplanetary. We don't need it on the planet itself, do we? So we can just set that right down here like that. Boom, done. Alright. So, do we need this? No, we don't need these. We don't need these at all. Okay, so let's get rid of these. Here we go. So yeah, apparently I had the Humble Bumble 3 set up for something completely different. Where are you, little buddy? Why are there two? I don't even want to know. There it is. Okay, it just doesn't glow. Alright, so perfect. The only other thing I think we might want to change with this is that one log tube. It is not, but what it is it is the wrong engine. Let's go ahead and get rid of that, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to replace this with a nuclear engine. Yes, a nuclear engine, for the purposes of getting out to Duna, of course, is where we're going next. We're going to Duna because that's a safe place to go. Now, this thing has a thrust to rate ratio of, that's 0, right? And 0, no, 0 is that we want 2. 2 is 1.09 with 3,456 meters per second. That tells me nothing that I really, no, does it give me a burn time? Thrust delta V time, 9.4 seconds. 4 minutes, 21 seconds, 0.6. That might be enough. That might be enough. Well, 3,000, right? Ah, what am I doing? Main display, there you go, compact. 3,456, that's not enough to get us to where we need to go, is it? It is not. It is definitely not. Now, we don't need most of this weight now that I'm thinking about it, because let's go ahead and ditch most of this, and then what we'll do is, you know, goodbye. what we're going to do is we're going to just up the fuel tank a little bit, which is how we do in this place. Let's go ahead and up it to this size. We'll do that, and then what we want to do along with that is we need a couple of, we're just going to go with thermals. We're going to go with RTGs. Those are the big ones, aren't they? I don't know. Are those originals? I don't know. I have to compare them with the other ones to know. Yeah, those are the big ones. This is the one we want. So we're just going to take a couple of these, say 2. We don't need very many, just 2. 2 is more than enough to... Why is this thing being weird? Okay, that's not exactly a good thing, but whatever. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, so there we go. We have some RTGs now. We're going to put the thermal, nuclear, atomic, what's it's right here, splork. And, oh, we lost our device. We lost our robot. Here we go. Alright, so put that there, and that gives us a thrust to rate ratio of 0.78, but it gives us 5,587 delta V. which is much better than the previous. So that will be our get to Duna. This tank will probably have a crap ton of fuel left in it when we get there, because this little guy is so light, but you know me, I want to overcompensate just a little bit. But we also have to make sure we can get into orbit with this big tank up here, because now we have this big tank and big engine. I did not think about that. Oh, no. 4-cylinder? We'll probably want to go with a 6-cylinder asparagus, and you know what? I think we have one on board. Let's go ahead and just... bye-bye. And we'll load a sub-assembly, and we'll say 6-cylinder asparagus, and that should be the right one. And that's right, but it's not right because I added too many engine parts. So let's go ahead and remove that, and then... booyah! There we go. So we have a 6-cylinder asparagus system with a broken pipe here. That's not good. Let's fix that pipe a little bit. Oop, that is not how we wanted to fix that pipe. My mouse has been giving me trouble lately, as I'm sure you guys know. I've been complaining about it for a little bit in several different videos. It likes to just go like that randomly for no reason, and it's really annoying. But it looks like we have everything set up except for that one pipe, which we just repaired. Let's check our stuff. 6 and 1 and 2. 2, 2, 2. Those are all set, and this one goes to that one, and that one goes to that one. And, right? That one goes... yeah, okay. Okay. Wow, look at that. 10,000 delta V. Now, that's, of course, that includes everything below it, I suppose, is how that works, or something like that. Yeah, it includes everything below it, so it's 5, and then 13, and 24. The way that this does the math is completely flummoxed, but total delta V is 100,000, and then if you go, like, yeah, stage and total, so 5, 7, 11, 2, 5, 4. And so when you add them all up, that comes up to here. So it's a little bit odd to see, but it works. It works. As long as you know the total delta V here is better. But that should be it for the Humble Bumble. Humble Bumble has gone through a few changes since its first use on Dres, but it's still the most compact rover we've got, and it's never let us down yet. Well, that's true. Although my English is bad. So we're going to call this the Humble Bumble 4. You know, because that's what it is. It's a Humble Bumble. Nothing spectacular, nothing special, just a Humble Bumble probe. It's going to do two things. It's going to act as a landing beacon for our future ships, because I know exactly where I want to put it down on Duna. And it's also going to explore a little bit, if it can, of course. And it's... two things that I forgot. We need parachutes, and we need a heat shield. See, I gotta remember these things. We need parachutes and a heat shield. These things are important. Without those things, we could die horribly. Honestly, this big tank here may be enough, but you know what? I don't want to take that chance. Do you want to take that chance? I did not think you wanted to take that chance. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, right, I'm doing this. Alt, and then do this to there, and do that to there, and then take this like that. Okay. So, yeah, this is going to work for several different experimental reasons. That should be more than an... oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. So, yeah, this experiment is for several different reasons. Not only is it for our drop to the surface. You know what? We are landing on a planet, aren't we? With atmosphere. We don't need these no more, do we? I speak good English. Yeah, we don't need these anymore. So let's go ahead and do that. There you go. And then I think what we'll do is we're going to go back to a slightly older design for the Humble, and it's going to be the one where this is on top. And I know that caused us a little bit of problems last time, but the gravity on Duna is not that bad, honestly. So if we do this right, there you go. So now we have our 1 meter by 1 meter box, even though the Humble is a little bit shorter than it should be. And then if we're see, I'm thinking now, because the box. I like the box. I like the box closed. We're going to keep the box closed, but I was going to put a singular parachute on top. And now that I think about it, one parachute on top might not be enough to slow us down in Duna's atmosphere. 2 parachutes on the side might be, if they stick proper. Do they stick proper? They don't really stick proper. That's not good either. We won't land straight then. If we do it like this, maybe, and just put this right here, and then put another one on the other side, and then go all out, like this, and then do this. What do you guys think? Think that'll work? Kind of limits our space there. So now we have 3 parachutes on this sucker. If that doesn't slow us down, I don't know what will. Of course, we do have the problem that there is a chance that it may rip the entire plate apart, like the entire thing apart. I'm hoping it won't, but if we ignite them high enough in the atmosphere, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Am I getting that right in my head, you guys? You guys have to tell me, be like, KB, you're gonna die, buddy. So that lowered our delta V by a little bit. 4,269. Wow, really? Stage, oh, 4,636. Oh, because we took it off the top stage. Okay. So yeah, 4,636 should still be enough to get us to Duna, no problem. Should be. Because if we use this 6-cylinder to get up there and we have a little bit of fuel left, we'll use whatever's in the tanks. But our parachutes are here, and that goes, no. What's, does this clamp here? Okay, that clamps there. Parachute, clamp. Okay. Clamp. There it is. So yeah, this is going to be the Humble Bumble 4. Very, very functional little ship. It really, really is. We're going to try to land this on Duna, and of course we're going to do it via parachute with no thruster assistance. We're also going to try to do it with a heat shield because we need to see how the heat shield works, how drag works, how things like that work, because we can't bring Kerbals down on Duna if they're going to burn up in the atmosphere, right? Or crash down onto the planet, which, believe it or not, I have a lot of trouble stopping ships from crashing onto the surface of Duna because of its thin atmosphere. But this should get us there. If it doesn't, then we'll crash it somewhere. I mean, why not, right? Otherwise, yeah, we're good to go. So I kind of want to get this thing speeded up because you guys know how this works. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip ahead from the launch because we know this asparagus works. And we're going to go straight to Duna. I'm just going to get straight to Duna, and then we're going to get into orbit. And from orbit, we're going to go straight down to the planet and see how that works. And that way I can get more content into this video for you guys, because I've already wasted a little bit of time, more time than I thought I would, just getting to this point. And if, of course, there are any errors or problems, I will inform you guys. But since it's an unmanned probe, not a problem. That way it saves you guys time. So I'll see you guys most likely around Duna. So I'll see you guys there. Alright everyone, here we are above Duna. I've already performed our burn-in maneuver in order to get us to our intended destination, which is right about in that crater. And the reason for that is because I had previously chosen that destination as our destination because of its unique properties and the fact that it has a very large kethane deposit overlaid over the top of a very large ore deposit. And when I say very large, it is very, 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 very large, as in basically this entire hemisphere of the planet is one gigantic ore deposit. Now we do have our, well, that was really silly of me. We do have our nuclear engine to help slow us down if we need it. I honestly did not think about the atmosphere that much. I don't remember how thin it is. I do know it doesn't start until like 60 kilometers or lower, like 40 kilometers. It's really low down there. But because of that, we do have to do some maneuveriness in order to keep ourselves from crashing into the surface, I think. And this is a real interesting test. This is going to be a very interesting test for us because if we bring Kerbals in, we either have to do a long burn across the surface, like, because I'm coming in at a very, very, very steep angle, which I do because I am a very impatient person, so looping around until I can come in at a super low angle is not something I like to do. But as you can see, we are aiming for that big, big, big crater. I'm hoping that the crater is flatter inside. It's really hard to tell sometimes, but I'm also wondering if maybe we should slow ourselves down a little bit, maybe like so. Just for fun, just in case. Like I said, I don't know how high the surface is, but at the same time, it's just one of those things. And I just kind of want to slow us down while bringing us still into this crater, because this crater is where we're going to be landing. And if we can land the rover without a problem, then we're okay with everything else. So, and our nuclear engine's fine. And who knows, maybe we'll do that thing where you can actually land on a planet without what's the word I'm looking for? Not without a heat shield, but, you know, like in the old sci-fi movies where they just come straight down onto the platform. Of course, we all know that when they did those scenes, it was always a what's the word I'm looking for? A film that it was played in reverse. Yeah, a rocket launch that was played in reverse. That's usually how that worked. Alright. So we're just kind of going in this direction. We do need to land in that crater, so I shouldn't be doing that too much, but we do want to make sure that we don't crash down too hardcore is really what we're looking for. So yeah, we're going to be coming down in the crater. That's not a problem. 120,000 meters. Our descent speed is extremely high. We have a ton of fuel left in this rocket. And it does have a thrust-to-rate ratio of 0.79 on Kerbin, which basically suggests that it has a much higher thrust-to-rate ratio here on Duna. And I guess we could take a look and see. Thrust-to-rate ratio 4.9. Yeah, I can lift 5 of these things, so we're good there. Oop, we're getting some overheat there, probably from burn-in and everything else. We might be overshooting our mark a little bit too, which is not good. Because I am burning more up than over, so that is a thing. Alright, we're coming down. Yeah, we're coming down, okay. So let's go ahead and try to slow our... Let's see what our surface speed is. Surface speed, here we go. Let's slow our surface speed down a little bit. Just for fun. And we may have to maneuver. I mean, we are going to have to drive around a little bit to find out where we want to land this thing, but we're at 50,000. What's our true altitude? True surface, please. Surface altitude is altitude terrain 53, so we're not too far off of sea level, which is good to know. Yeah, so I'm just going to kind of burn our engine here. It's going to get a little bit of an overheat, I think, but I'm going to try to slow our surface speed down. Try to get our surface speed down, and then maybe try to get our vertical speed down, and see if we can just bring this in nice and gently. You know, nice and gentle. If we can't, then we can't, and that's okay. If we can, that'd be nice. And then we can drive around, find a nice flat spot, and make that our base of ops, our ops base. Interesting effect, considering where the sun's currently located. I wonder if that just works no matter where you are. I guess I can bring our surface speed down faster by moving more sideways, but I also want to keep our ground speed down as well, or our crashing into the ground speed down as well. That's the other thing. Alright, we're now at 160, 152, so that's our surface speed. It will kind of go back and forth. Wow, really? I just dropped our orbital speed down to 170. That's an interesting effect. Okay. So we're basically coming almost straight down. Almost straight down. We are still moving sideways, you can tell by the way the planet is moving. But that's a very interesting effect that we got going on there. So let's go ahead and see if we can fix that a little bit like this. I'm really curious to know if we can do this, or at least fake that we can do this. Who knows? Maybe we could land this thing without even needing the parachutes. That'd be very interesting indeed. There you go. All right. So that's our orbital speed. Surface is 35 clicks. We should be hitting the atmosphere, but you know, Duna's atmosphere is so super thin. It really is. We could probably almost bring this thing straight down and be done with it. What's our surface speed? 212? Yeah, 212 over the surface. So it's sort of orbit versus surface is kind of an if thing. You got to kind of figure out which one you like to do better. I'm using two different machines here, of course, because one speed, this speed is the game speed. This speed is calculated via the computer, or the module that we have on board. And then MechJeb, of course, has its own little calculations that it likes to do, which is separate, so it's kind of hard to tell which way we're going on this, but it looks like we're doing really well. And the reason why we have this much fuel to screw around with is because I did have some trouble putting this on an asparagus system initially, and so I put it on a larger asparagus system and got into orbit with like 3/4 of a large orange tank, and that was more than enough to get us out here, and I find that hilarious. So we basically flew out here on an orange tank and then have been using this nuclear engine for maneuvers only. That's how I've been doing that. But this is a nice landing zone. Nice. Wow. We're not near the center of the crater because the center of the crater is over there, but we are near enough well, not the center, but yeah, we are near enough to the crater. So let's see. Periapsis height, surface information is more than orbital information because now we're coming down. We're at 18 kilometers. Which I guess is good. Let's see if we can bring our speed down even more. Land this thing old school, right? Like an old sci-fi show. We're coming down on Mars, sir. Yes, I know this isn't Mars, but I'm talking about Earth sci-fi shows. I'm not even sure that Kerbals would have science fiction shows. They'd be like, let's just go to space and screw the fiction. It's like, okay. And I think we just passed through the atmosphere without any kind of heat. I'm pretty sure that just happened. So this is a very odd landing indeed. But then there's an indication on those old science fiction shows how those things worked, like how powerful those engines were on those ships, or how powerful they were supposed to be. Because this is just one tiny nuclear engine and it's lifting this thing. Imagine it's all that equipment and all those people and cameras and microphones and whatnot. You know, at least 5 people per horror movie if you watch the horror science fiction. I don't know if you guys watch that. Like, Journey to the, is it 7th planet or 9th planet? I think it's Journey to the 9th planet. And then the Angry Red Planet with that was, yeah. You guys have to watch the Angry Red Planet, I swear. It's awesome. And I know this is taking forever, but But at this point, we're now just, I mean, we're not even really coming down that fast, are we? Vertical speed is negative. Yeah, we're basically coming straight down now. This is really interesting. All right, well, we'll see how it works, I guess. We may need the parachutes. I don't know. Maybe we should ignite our parachutes and hope for the best. Atmosphere is so thin. We're at 9,000, 6,000 meters. All right. This is really interesting. I like this. This is good. This is a good landing on Duna. This is an awesome landing on Duna. Unfortunately, we didn't land on the side that would have Ike on it, because I think Ike is basically to our left, maybe, or on the other side of the planet. But Ike's not over here, so we will not be able to view Ike from our chosen landing zone, unfortunately. So we will have a rather bleak sky to look at. Alright, so our longitude, vertical speed, horizontal speed is, wow, our horizontal speed is only 7 millimeters a second? Damn. I did this well. How did I do this so well? I don't even know. Okay, we're going to throttle up and kind of hardcore burn our engine a little bit, because we're down to 3,000 meters. Oop, 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 oop. Gotta be careful, this is about the time when I start screwing things up. Since I'm using the bump, I don't know if I mentioned this, but since I'm using the bump, we don't have the torque that we need, because the bump wasn't updated. So when it comes to maneuvering the ship, I'm basically using what little torque is in the bump, because it wasn't upgraded to 0.21 is how that works. So it doesn't have all that torque stuff that it should actually have. Wow, this little guy's doing well. I like this. This little ship's doing a great job. Gotta kind of keep us centered. Whoa. Yeah, all that smoke, now we're getting a little bit laggy. Yeah, there's no real, I won't say there's no real place to land here. I mean, it is kind of bumpy. Maybe we'll get lucky if we get closer to the ground. I mean, we are we are pretty high up at this point, but maybe we'll get lucky if we get closer to the ground. Alright, here we go. Now, of course, this is going to land us funny if it lands us at all. We're 1,000 kilometers. Should we open the parachute? Deploy chute? Just to help out? There you go. That's nice. I like that. Maybe when it opens at 500 meters from the group, 500 meters from the ground, we'll be more able to withstand the bump in the thinner atmosphere, since we're only going like 16 meters a second. It's about to open. Hey, look at that. Now let's go ahead and dump. And that will hopefully slow us down very quickly. I hope. We can get rid of that too. Oh, there you go. Get rid of all that dead weight. We're coming down at 12 meters per second. 11. 11.2, lots of garbage on the surface. 11.1 is too high. Can we launch these other two chutes without igniting? 6.4. Did all that stuff blow up? Ooh, these are nice doonies on Duna. Look at all these dunes. The dunes look nice. Duna has been changed. Okay, so maybe, ooh, valley. I like this. The valley is good. Valley is a good, nice landing place. Provided 6.2 meters per second isn't too fast and we don't blow up. Oof. We do bounce a little bit. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, come on, little guy. You gonna be like that? He's gonna be like that. He's gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna roll over on you. Why? Huh? You've landed on smaller planets with less atmosphere, and he's gonna land flat, isn't he? Okay. Well, if nothing else, we're here. Yeah, he can do it. He takes a little bit of time, and we're using up a lot of power, so we have to get out of here. Let's go ahead and detach, I suppose, would be the best thing. So let's decouple node. Okay, that's a start. Whoop. Okay, now things are getting weird. Oh, poor little guy. Alright, well, I'm going to have to figure out how to get this guy back up onto the, onto his nose, I suppose. That shouldn't be too hard, but I have to do it before we're out of power. So let me go ahead and do that off camera a little bit, because I'm not sure how long it's going to take. And then we'll get back here as quick as we can. So I'll see you guys in a second. Okay, everybody. Couldn't get the ship out of the box. My bad. However, I did figure what the hell, and I decoupled. Well, you guys know I decoupled. I decoupled, and And since I was decoupled, I figured the box was now considered dead weight or garbage. So because of that, I went to the Space Center and I just told it to cancel the garbage. Cheapy, I know, but since I didn't want to fly all the way out here and get stuck, I figured that was the better option than the alternative, which was to let the guy sit here forever doing, you know, nothing. Those panels are really close to the ground. I gotta be more careful with the Bumble, I really do. But we have our lights, we have our ship, we have our little Bumble. We're ready to rock and roll and to go and to do our thing, and we're here on Duna again. Isn't that wonderful, everybody? Yay! And of course, we are going to be doing the things that we do on Duna, which is sliding down hills, sliding down dunes. Or reenacting Take on Mars. I'm sure some of you know about that game, have played it, or have seen others play it. Scott Manley, of course, plays it, because Scott plays anything space-related, and that's kind of awesome. It keeps us up to date on space-related gaming. But I'm taking a look around here, and this is not a very flat land. I was kind of hoping for more flatness, if that's really, if that's even a word. I was hoping for a more flat land experience, and as you can see, we are just sliding down this dune. I'm full reverse right now. As you can see, my tires are spinning backwards. Full reverse right now, trying to slow down, and it's just not cutting it. And that is a problem. Are we controlling this from the right zone? Control from here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, we are just sliding down this dune. If we do land here, and I'm kind of hoping that we will, but if we do land here, it's going to be a bit... Oh, wait, is this flat? Is this flat enough? I don't know, let's find out. It's hard to tell, you know, because the depth perception and all that, whether or not something's flat enough. No, we're still kind of going which way down? Yeah, we're still kind of sliding downhill a little bit. This is flat-er. Flat-er is nice, but we really need a flat zone. It's one of those things that we absolutely need for this base. Of course, we have little glitches like that where the solar panels tilt and the wheels get caught, but they're still working. They just don't look like they're working. Alright, so this is uphill a little bit here. Man, I was really hoping for less hills. I really was. Maybe if we get very lucky, there's a flat plane coming up or something. Anything that we can use to our advantage in the world of flatness, you know? But I'm thinking that might not be the case. I'm thinking that might not be it. Unless we get to the top of a rather flat-ish dune, that would be nice. Let's go ahead and tap our brakes a little bit, just nice and gentle. And then unlock, and that'll tell us if we're... Well, this seems pretty flat, at least in this direction. I don't think it's flat in that direction. I think if we were to turn ourselves this way, we'd probably roll downhill anyway. Let's tap our brakes again and just check. Meh. Well, it's okay. I mean, it's decent. It's because I really do want to try to get that extraplanetary launcher to work, the platform, because it's a great mod. And it's super fun, and it gives us a reason to come all the way back here to Duna without too much difficulty. The problem is you have to find a very flat space to work with, and it has to be big enough for like all the parts and pieces to land on. And unless we can find a very flat spot, that crevice down there looks flat, but of course it is kind of a bowl shape. And of course, once you get going with that, you have ships riding up on one side or riding up on the other side. So we're gonna kind of go over this hill a little bit here and just take a quick look at what we hope to be a flat-ish zone. Yeah, we are going uphill here, so might not be. And of course, there are more hills and stuff we can explore. This is a very bumpy crater, unfortunately. Duna, of course, living up to its name of having lots of dunes. Wait a second. Whoa, don't slide sideways a little bit. Here, go ahead and tap your brakes. There you go. And then, is this flat? It's still a little crooked, but it's kind of flat. Anyway, we're probably going to have to take a look around a little bit more, I think, for this to work. But that's going to be another stage. We have one more stage coming before we get to that stage, so we have some time to explore and to look around. But for right now, this is where we're going to land. This is going to be our landing area, if not our distinct landing zone. But for now, we're going to go ahead and go back to the VAB, because it is now time to start designing the real ship. Yep, we have a Humble Bumble here on Duna, where it's going to be an explorer, and it's going to be our little guy just keeping an eye on things. But before that, we do of course have to bring out our Kerbals, our brave Kerbals. Yeah, very bumpy. Very, very, very bumpy. You can kind of see the bump still from this height, which is nice, but as you can see, there's not a lot of flat space to work with. This is kind of flat, which is good, but that's about all we have to work with right now. But anyway, we have to bring our Kerbals out here, and to do that, we have to design a ship capable of carrying them to Duna and keeping them alive. And I have this great design in my head for it, so I will see you guys back at the VAP so we can do that up real quick, because hopefully we can get that done and start getting it into orbit, because I'm pretty sure it's going to come in pieces before the end of this video. So I will see you guys over there. Okay, here we are back in the VAB. Now, I already have an idea of how I want this to go. So, because of that, we're going to go ahead and put this thing together. Now, you know what? Honestly, that's not the part I want to be the middle. We do want, well, middle, I guess, the head. Oh, you can't make this. Ooh, oh, okay. Well, then we'll start with this one. I thought we could go with that one, but we can't. Alright, so we want to go ahead and go with a pilotable ship, sort of. No, it's too small. I want the bigger one. There it is. Alright, I'll put one of those on there. Now, you may be thinking you know what I'm doing. You might. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Let's see. The other one is this one. Aha! Nope! Damn it. Okay. Haha! Okay, there we go. So I already have an idea of how I want to put this together. And you guys may recognize this, of course, from a previous build that I did, well, a previous build that I did previously. Alright, so as you can see, this is going to be very similar to our, what's the word I'm looking for? Our space station. It's going to be very, very, very close to the bubble. And now, a few of you have requested, or at least one or two of you have requested, that the bubble be brought back down. That, I don't know if I'm going to do that. And the reason why I don't know if I'm going to do that is because I kind of like that the bubble's up there. I kind of like how low in orbit it's in, and it works and it does its job. And we haven't gone back to visit it in a while, and we should, just to make sure everyone there is okay. But it was a test just to make sure that everyone could be put up there and survive, and they can, and they did, and that's great. And so because of that, we will be going up there, but not to bring it back down. We may bring some of the crew back down. I will say that. We may bring some of the crew back down, but we're not going to be bringing down the entire space station itself. So we may leave it up there just as sort of a thing. And I think, yeah, like that. Okay. Okay, and then from here we want something spectacular. From here we want something spectacular. Well, we need, this was going to be a lot different because this is going up, this is a mock-up right now. I'm going to go ahead and say that, and I'm missing the part that we need. It's around here somewhere. I know it is. I can smell it. There it is. There it is. Yeah, this is a mock-up of what we're going to be building, and so this is not a long-range ship. It is pretty short-range, and I say that because Duna is roughly one, and you guys may be wondering what I'm doing, and I'm doing what I always do. Yeah, well, sort of. I'm being crazy is what I'm doing. Anyway, I'm fixing that because it, yeah. Anyway, Duna is about 90 days out. That's it, 90 days. Not very long at all. Not really very long at all, honestly, when you think about it. It's only 90 days out. There you go. And since it's only 90 days out, we don't need a lot. Well, we are going to need this, and this is for something very spectacular that's going to come later. But well, I don't know about spectacular. But anyway, point being is, it's only 90 days out, so we really don't need a lot in the way of shippiness, right? We don't really need a lot in the way of shippiness. And as you can see right here, all we really have here is we have our oxygen module, we have a single Kerbal container, we have a mechanical brain, and then we have the main body here in the middle. And that's it, nothing spectacular. So because of that, we do need temporary solar panels is what I'm looking for. Temporary solar panels. And I know they're here. I know they're here. I'm not crazy. Well, maybe I am and I just don't know it. No, they're here. They should be here. The big long ones, guys. Tell me I'm missing them. Ah, here they are. So they were hidden from me. Alright, so we're going to use this, I think, as our big long solar panel holder for now, because there's really no reason not to. And what we also need to do is we need to do this. Oop. Nope, we just need the one. No, that goes up to like 900, so we'll go back the other way. All right, there it is. So yeah, this is going to be our main voyage vessel, I think is what we're going to call it. It's going to be our main vessel for our voyage to Duna. Nothing really spectacular. It is, of course, going to be unmanned. That is the thing. It is going to be unmanned because, wait. Because we don't need any Kerbals there yet. And there's no place for them really to sit. I mean, they can sit, one Kerbal can sit here if we wanted. But he'd be alone in space for 80 days by himself. Space madness, man. There'd be space madness and you know it. Alright, so that's our basic package, our basic what's-its. We are going to need a couple of things to get there. And I think one of those things is going to be... No, not that one. This one. Pardon me. I found a frog in my throat, and he decided to move in with all of his kids. Whoop. Let's see. Where should we... Would you put it right here? Boink. That works. I guess we could put it by the door if it would fit by the door. But it doesn't. It's like, yeah. I mean, we could hide it by the door, but I don't really feel like hiding things by the door. So we'll mosey it up here, and we'll just put it right there. Like that. The other thing that we're going to need... I mean, we can do stuff like communications modules and things like that if we really wanted to be all cool about it, you know? We could be all like, hey, look how cool we are. We got like little antennae and shit. Well, that's not so bad, honestly. We are going to need... Oh, wait, you know what? I just thought about it. We don't need you on here. Haha, Brainiac right here. I kind of like the antennas there, though. Those are kind of cool. Maybe we'll just keep those. But what we do need is we do need to do this. And with this, we need to do something with... Where are they? Man, I forget everything. Quantum struts. Here they are. So we do want to do something with this. And if you remember properly from the last time, what this will do is this will lock in to anything that we stick onto the boat. So that way anything that sticks in will get stuck on. I guess if that's the way we want to talk about it. So there it is. So they cross right there. And anything that docks in should be perfectly aligned, or at least locked in from moving left or right. Maybe not top or bottom, but that's neither here nor there. So there's some quantum struts just for the funsies of it. And I think because we do have a docking mechanism down here, we will also put 4 quantum struts here, but we're going to want to put them not like that. We want to make them... it's a little far. Let's try that again. There we go. I kind of like that distance because as soon as something locks in, boom, those 4 will grab hold of it. Anything that's going to dock here probably won't be less than 1 meter long. Maybe a ship or something like that, or something at least wide enough that will intersect all these parts. So it will work. That will work, and then the other 4 quantum struts will work as well. So this is going to be our main voyage ship to the stars. I guess we could change this. Is that our main body? Yeah, okay. Why it's not lighting up the whole thing, I don't know. Now, for a quick reference, we're going to take MechJeb, who is not here. He's over... No, go away. We're going to take MechJeb here, and we're going to put him on just super duper quick to see how much this little guy weighs. How much do you weigh, little guy? 15.27 tons. That's awesome. That's excellent. That's about average for the ships that we send into space. That's great. We could launch this thing using any number of vessels. And look at that. It's actually very tubular. And I don't mean that in the old classic 80s tubular dude kind of way. I mean it more like it could fit into a 2-meter wide tube, which is also awesome. So yeah, this is going to be our main vessel. Now you guys may be wondering what we're going to stick on this vessel right here, on this sides here. Well, that's I don't know yet. I know, right? I honestly don't know yet. I will know later, but right now I don't know. So this is our initial mock-up, and I think we're going to try to get this into orbit today, this video. This is what we're going to try to do, and this is going to be our main body, our main portion. Now, as you can see, there is no engine or anything on it. It is much like a space station unto itself. Ah, a hint, perhaps. It is much like a space station itself, so because of that, we will be leaving it in orbit as this without any engines or anything on it, but that will come later. I'm having a thought. It's kind of an awesome thought, but it's a dangerous thought as well. Not going to tell you guys about it because I may not do it, but It's kind of an interesting thought. Anyway, so let's go ahead and name this sucker, because this is going to be our first interstellar spacecraft with Kerbals aboard. Well, no, this one may not have Kerbals aboard. See, again, not 100% sure, but it does set up our modular design. So, now this is going to be in orbit around Kerbin, and it is going to end up in orbit around Duna, I believe. And so we should call this something awesome. Well, again, I'm wasting time just sitting here, staring at the screen, while you guys are waiting. I'll figure out a name when we get it onto the launch pad. And this is one of those things where you guys are going to see it launch, because it is pretty hefty. So I'll see you guys out there on the launch pad once I get it named and everything else. I'll see you there. Okay, here we are out on the launch pad. Everything seems to be going okay. Oxygen is increasing. Wish I knew why that was. Hope it's not a bug, because nothing is on. Okay, so it might be a bug. I don't think so, though, because this isn't using any parts other than the oxygen mod. Oh, well, we'll have to figure that out later, unless it's filling up from Kerbin, maybe? Unknown. That's honestly an unknown. Now, I didn't put a protractor on here because I don't care where Duna is right now, because this is just going to go up into orbit, and then we're going to get to Duna later, because right now we're just doing the orbit thing. I did put some lights on here, so we do have some lights, so that when a ship comes, well, pretty bright, but when a ship does come and attach, or when a module or something attaches, we do have the ability to illuminate it, which is very, 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 very helpful. Lights on the bottom are a little bit bright, but that's okay. We can see our flag for Graham. Unfortunately, Graham is Kaputski. Sorry, Graham. Actually, I will tell you guys that Graham isn't Kaputski. I don't know what happened, and when I initially checked, it did say he was MIA, but now he is back in the roster. Don't ask me how. I don't know how that happened. But we'll leave the flag up regardless. And in his memory, living memory, I guess, this is called the KSA Xavier. Now, because we did put him as MIA, he could have just walked back. I don't know. We didn't actually see him die, so you never know. I don't know. It's just the way it went. But we do have to launch, and I've been wasting all this time. So let's go ahead and see if this thing will get this into orbit without blowing us up. So here we go. And I'm probably controlling this from the wrong place. Control from here. There we go. Yeah, all my stuff was backwards. That's not good. And as always, once we get into orbit, are we flying it feels like we're flying sideways. It really does. It's really weird. Anyway, once we get into or past our first stage, that should be more than enough to determine whether or not this thing is capable of flight, and if so, we will do our thing. But or I'll see you guys in orbit, kind of thing, I guess is how that will work. But we have to, of course, see if this thing will even fly first. And we're coming up on our first stage any moment now. And there it goes. Alright, so our first stage worked fine. And as far as I can tell, this should be able to get us up into orbit without a problem. Maybe not into as high an orbit as I originally had thought or had wanted, but we'll just have to see how that works. So I will see you guys there. Okay, everybody, we've made it to orbit. Let's just lock ourselves in there. There we go. We've made it to orbit. We're about to cross over to the dark side of Kerbin, which I guess makes for a good time to pause, of course. Strangely enough, this lifter got us into orbit with a crap ton of fuel left, and I do love that. We may keep this attached. Actually, we are going to keep it attached at least for a little while. I may decide to use it on the flight to get out there. How much Delta V do we have? 1,804. That's honestly enough to get us to Duna from a perfect flight time. However, it is not enough to slow us down once we get there. But I do like how that's a good number. Now, of course, we are going behind Kerbin, so it is getting very, very dark. Let's go ahead and kick on our lights just as sort of a see how it looks. Looks a little bright, but looks pretty cool. Once there's something in the way here to block that light, it shouldn't be so bright. But let's go ahead and kick those off. We do have the lights up here, of course, because I do love those little floodlights right there. It looks like a little pool, a little waiting pool. So go ahead and kick those off. And we're going to go ahead and pause here because I think that's enough content for this video. I know it's not normal for me to do 2 flights like that. However, the first flight was pretty routine. minus a few weird errors. And then this flight, of course, was to show where we're going to go next. Absolutely. So we're going to try to get this thing to Duna with or without additional modules. Don't know yet. We'll have to figure that part out. Once that's done, we're going to continue our attempt to build a base on Duna. Absolutely. So once again, I would like to thank you all very much for joining me for Kilobyte Short on this Let's Play of Kerbal Space Program with Kerbal Space Adventures. And I will see you next video.